everyone, and welcome back. 6:30 in the morning, and this morning I'm driving to Aiken, Minnesota. It got down to 27 degrees last night, and it's supposed to get up to 63 today. I'm almost at my destination. And what I'm going to look at today
turn right onto Osprey Avenue.
is a greenhouse. Melissa has always wanted one. I don't know that we would get this put up this year. I don't think so, but these people are moving, this lady is, and it's a pretty good price. We have to get the plastic for it, but you can get that easily.
Take the next right onto Osprey Avenue.
I'm just hanging out right here because I'm 10 minutes early. I'm 1 mile away. Well, I just left their place. I was there for probably 45 minutes. Real nice lady to talk to, both of them were. I bought the greenhouse, and it comes with all kind of extra stuff and all the tables inside, and yeah, they got a whole bunch of stuff there that I'm interested in that she's selling, but there's a deer coming out on the trail. Almost every night they're out there eating. The other morning there was one. See that little pine tree that's just behind the ugly old trailer there? It was right underneath there eating that green grass. That one looks like it's eating grass on the trail. You probably can't even see it, but they're looking pretty healthy this year. Did the camera pick up that sound? The grouse are out there drumming constantly. Oh yeah, it is. Which side are you going to go on? The left side to get the gold? I'm going to go on the right. Ooh, you can see there's even all the way over there too.
Wow.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and run the disc over the garden again to break up that grass so it can get all dried out, even though I think there's supposed to be a little bit of rain coming today. And then we're going to till into the old garden, or disc into the old garden area some, because if I decide to start putting that greenhouse up right away, even if we don't get the plastic on it, I still need a place to grow sweet corn, and I'm going to have to fence them because the deer will eat that. We would have no chance. So I'm going to disc. I might plant it in front this year, and then I can always still, push snow there in the wintertime because I can just pull that fence down. Well, so much for the glass table. I did the same thing 2 years ago. I was mowing in the field out there, and we had a pine tree that sat out in the field, and I turned and the bucket caught it and it completely uprooted the tree, and I just pushed it back in the woods. You know what, this disc, I've been reading about it and just learning as I go, and they said that it does real good in already tilled soil. And look at this, how it ripped this garden up beautifully. It's just that stuff over there that needs to be broken up and everything. That's why in that back field you'd have had to go over it 20 times to get it to break up, so I'm definitely going to want to plow that. It's killing off this grass though. That looks pretty good now. I broke up that grass that was between the old garden and that new part there, and then that little corner I couldn't get because I don't want to break my stakes off. One thing that I did read with that disc, like I'm only going in first gear here because it's such a short span, but when I get out in the back field, speed will also help flip that around. So once if I can get it into second or third gear after I plow that back field, it should turn it a lot faster. We had a little bit of rain today, not a whole lot, but tomorrow it looks like it's going to be chilly but sunny. So I'm going to leave right away in the morning and go over and start disassembling that greenhouse, and then some of the poles I'll actually put in my truck and haul them home tomorrow also. So I need to get a few wrenches. I saw the nuts and bolts on there, and I think they're 1/2 inch or 9/16, but I'm going to want to have 2 on each side, you know, so I can go on each side. And then I got some batteries charging up for my drill, and then I'll get my thingy that has all the attachments so I can put a socket on there in case I need some. I'm not really sure what's all going to be involved, but I just want to make sure that I have some tools. Two 1/2 inch wrenches, 2 5/8, 9/16, 3/8, and 7/16. That should do that part. I'll bring that whole entire Beaver wrench set that I have that has all the sockets and everything, but you know, you're only going to have like one, so I wanted to make sure that I had doubles there. And this one has every size of these things and the things to take the sockets, different ones, so should be good there. This battery said it's charged even though it showed only 3 instead of 4 lights, but I have 2 other ones charging that are almost done. And I'll bring a charger also, but I shouldn't have any trouble with 3 batteries. I don't need a real tall ladder either because I stood in the one, put my hand up, it's maybe 18 inches above my hand is the total height, so I don't need to get up very high. I think I have everything I need loaded. I'll just put together a lunch for tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be there past lunch or not, but I forgot to show you guys in the last video. This is that antique cream separator. And it's heavy, you know, it's cast iron bottom. And I can't get it to crank, but that doesn't mean that I don't have any idea how it works, so I ordered the manual. They had one of the original manuals off eBay. In fact, that should be here tomorrow. I ordered one for my disc also today off eBay. I have one for the hydraulic wheel thing, but not for the disc itself, how to just do some more settings on it. But anyway, yeah, this thing is pretty cool. All the parts are there. It's got all the discs that go in there. I have no idea how it works. I talked to my dad last week. I asked him because he used to spend summers at his grandma's, and she would butcher 100 chickens a year, and they had big gardens, and he tells the best stories about that stuff. That, you know, he would have to go out there and pick raspberries in the raspberry garden, and Grandma would put a big coat on them to keep the bugs from getting them and getting scraped up from the raspberry plants. And she also had milk cows, and he said he milked a lot of cows, and he would have to crank this for her. And he said it was so hard because he was little to get this thing moving, to get it cranking. You have to crank forever, and she would separate the cream from the milk. And I'm sure I've said it before that Melissa and we're wanting to get a cow. We're going to start getting the pasture planted, getting the fence put in and everything. So I don't know if it'd be this fall or next spring. She wants a milk cow, and I want to have a cow that we can butcher every year. So we'll get the cow either already bred, and so, you know, it has the calf, and then, you know, 16 months later or whatever, we butcher. Or I don't know how we're going to work all that out, but we're definitely going to do it. And I like it because there's a place up here that we go sometimes and buy like 15 gallons of raw milk, but it's, you know, 35-minute drive from here. And then she would take it and put it in her mixer, and she would make our own butter, and it was just pretty cool. And that's the kind of stuff that we like to do. So that's coming up. But since I don't know how to do this, I got the manual, and it showed a few pages of it, and it shows the exploded view and how you set it, and it's got an big old oil spot back here, and it'll be fun to figure out. We watched a couple of videos before we bought this, and the guy would crank on it, and every time it would go around, it would go ding, ding. And I see on this thing here, I don't know if this is what did it, because there's a little spot. Like I said, I don't know how it works, because when I try to do it, this thing unscrews. So that's when I said we need to get a manual. I don't know where this thing is heavy. I don't know where that attaches to it. If it's even a part of it, I don't know. There are parts in here that I know were not for this, like this plumbing piece was in there. Good morning, everybody. A few minutes before 7 o'clock, 20 degrees. I'm heading over. I think it took me about an hour and 10 or an hour and 15 minutes last time to get over to where that greenhouse is. I'm gonna get over there and start taking that thing down. I was planning on spending I don't think you'd have to be there the whole day to take it down, to be honest. But anyway, our chickens, they were shipped last night, and at 4:46 yesterday afternoon, they were in Minneapolis, so I'm expecting our 7 little chicks to show up today, and I'm going to have to get a heat lamp on them and get some food. I haven't even went and bought any medicated food yet for them, so kind of a busy day. Where the greenhouse is, the high today is 58. Where the house is, which we still have the breeze off the lake, so it's only going to be 52. Tomorrow is going to be 66 by the house, and then it's going to rain for a few days. It'll be cold, or colder. I got everything loaded into my truck that I could haul without a trailer. Everything taken down. We're also getting a water trough for cows or horses or whatever with a heater, if the price is right. And I'm dealing on 20, they call them cattle panels, but they're like a hog panel. We'll see what she wants for those also. But for right now, the first load is going home. Well, right here is all the metal that goes front to back on the greenhouse. In fact, we only need 12 of these. If we have one in the center and then one like 4 feet up on each side. And you can put more in, like if you want to put more hanging baskets and stuff. So she said, I think I gave you plenty. She gave me 47 of them. So we've got a lot of this metal here. This is the channel that you put the, I don't know what it's called, like Z metal or something. I'll show it to you. I put it in the woodshed. This is all for electrical. Some of them have plug-in boxes on the end of it, and this is where you would run your wire through. Shorter pieces right there, they were hooked up, and she said it was to hang plants on and everything. These are those top pieces for the hoop, but the hoop pieces right and left are still there until I bring the trailer. This is that metal, I don't know, spring whatever it is. I don't know why I call it Z metal, but that fits in there. That tightens up the plastic. And she was real nice. Like she has a whole bunch of extra of these. She sent all them with us. Oh, there's a track out there on the other side. for a 10-foot, be a total of 10 feet, sliding door. And this is the hardware that you can hang the door on. So that's all hardware, probably enough for 2 greenhouses. This is the stuff that I took off today. She probably had 500 of these. These are the little staples that hold down the fabric we'll put on the floor of it. All of these here are for hanging basket. It's got the hook and then 4 wires. So you hook it up to the baskets, and that's what that's for. What else? Oh, a bunch of these, which are hangers. You hang it on one of those metal pieces out there and hang your basket or whatever. These are for a drip water system. These were all plumbing pieces that she had that were used to run the main water line for the drip system. She didn't really know what was what, but I said I'd take it. And a few other extra things. Oh yeah, these are the loops that attach it to the wood that's on the bottom. That 2x6 along the bottom, and that is still at her place also. Here's a bunch more of these things. I bet we got way more than even 500 of them. So that's the first load coming back. I did buy you know those round bale feeders? They're heavy metal and they go around and you drop the round bale in the middle so cows can eat out of it. I did buy one of those from her. She had 2. One of them was taken apart. The other one wasn't and couldn't be taken apart because it had been welded. So the one that was taken apart, I asked her to give me a price on them. I said I've seen them anywhere from I seen them as low as $100 to $300 on Marketplace, and I saw one yesterday for $2,500. And I asked her today if she wanted to sell that, and she said, can I get $65 for it? I told her, I said, I'll give you $100 for it. And I just went to my truck and gave her a $100 bill. I'm not going to, that's a super deal. You know, I'm not out to screw anybody. So, and then what are we working on now? She has a bunch of hog panels there. Did I already talk about those? They're 18 or 20 feet long, at least 4 feet tall. They might even be a little taller than that. There's 21 or 22 of them in an area she used to have pigs. And I went out and looked at them today. She said she has somebody else that was also possibly interested in them, a neighbor or something, but I offered her my price to buy every one of them. I will take them down even. And the the old boiler's blowing smoke in here. So we'll see what she says on that. I mean, I offered her a fair but cheap price for them, and we'll see what happens. I told her, I said, I'm not made out of money. I said, but I know I could spend all of my money right here at your house. This right here is that track for a sliding door. And it's 10, maybe that thing's 12 feet long. Maybe you can get a 6-foot door. I mean, it would cross in the middle, but I bet you that's 12 feet. And now tomorrow I have to work in the morning. It was just, at first there was nothing, then there was one pickup to do. Now there's 2, but they're within 25 minutes of each other. And then I got to get back here because all of our little baby chicks are coming tomorrow, and I have to be here, photo ID and a signature on those. I don't understand it. They were shipped 2 days ago from California, and then so then all day today, transit and everything. And then tomorrow, FedEx will bring them. How do those little baby chicks survive that long? I'm going to have to check them right away, but we're excited to get our new little chickens. And before we were talking about the greenhouse probably won't go up this year. I got so many projects going on, but I can guarantee you right now that thing's going up. It'll go up, the hoops will be up, and I don't know when the plastic will go on, but knowing Melissa, she'll get on that right away too. Tomorrow is supposed to be nice like today and another 10 degrees warmer. So if I have time in the afternoon, I'll run the disc over the garden again to turn things up and get them grass clumps dried out. Because after that, I think it's 3 days of rain. I am still looking for a 2 or 3 bottom trailer type plow to pull behind the tractor for that back field. There's been a couple and I got close on them and somebody else bought them. I think 1 week, possibly 2 until we shut down the boiler. It all depends on how cold it gets. I mean, it's nice today, 50 maybe. Tomorrow's going to be in the low 60s. But, you know, we still have days that are in the 40s. More than likely, when all the wood is burned out of that shed, there's probably a week left in there, maybe a little bit more, we'll shut it down. I have all that wood in the back there that's already cut, but unless it gets really cold, I'm not going to drag that up here. We always shut it down before we go fishing, which is the second Saturday in May. So if it gets shut down a week early, whatever. And then after that, we'll just use the furnace in the house to heat it. And then fire it back up again later this fall, usually right around Halloween. Good morning, everybody. I have to make a run for work, and then they just called me. It's not even 7 o'clock, and our little chickens are at the post office, so I have to pick them up on my way back. And then we have 2 of those electric bikes coming today, FedEx, and I have to give photo ID and sign for it. So I have to make my run this morning and then hurry up and get back. Well, I got all that stuff done. Now I have to rush to the post office and get the baby chicks and then get home and get those into a box with some food and water. Well, I think I got it all. I went over it and I still find little pieces. Because Melissa's going to walk out here. She was not happy that the table got broke. It's one of her tables from Louisiana. And what she's going to do is come out here, and it isn't going to matter that I picked up 300,000 little pieces. It's going to be that one piece that might cut the dog's foot or the cat's foot, and then I'm going to have to hear about it, and I don't want to have to hear about it. I started with this shop vac, which has made some weird noises for a long time, and then it made some really weird sounds, and then smoke started pouring out and it quit. It actually blew the breaker inside. So I'll see if this one will fit in a garbage can at the end of the week, because that one is done. That wind is really starting to pick up. Weather change is coming. Good morning, everybody. We got 2 deer out there. There's one, let's see, right out here, and there's one right behind the tree. About an hour ago, they were right here, like closer to a lot closer to the house. The one e-bike did show up yesterday. The other one I think shows up next Tuesday. I'll get them taken out of the box and do a short video on them, showing them, and then we want to bring them up when we go opening fishing so we can drive the trails with them. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Melissa wants to make chicken Alfredo this weekend, and it's really, really good when she does it. I told her I thought we had chicken out here. I think we got a bunch of it. I'm going to run up this morning and get 3 of the 30-pound propanes filled up. It's supposed to be raining here by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and after watching TV, it looks like this whole entire next week is just going to be off and on rain. Sunday, it's going to be only a high of 38. That's in Duluth. And they said Monday the winds might be gusting upwards of 60 miles an hour, so it's just going to be absolutely horrible. I see that my truck says I have 55 miles to east, so I better fill up with fuel also. Looks like everybody wants propane today. I got all 3 30-pounders filled up. I think I'll have 1 I'll put up by the barbecue and 2 of them over by the camper. I'll have propane for months if we don't go camping. Well, like usual, my day, like most of them, keeps changing. We ordered a bunch more fruit trees from a greenhouse that's about an hour away. It's actually in Ascove, which is where my grandpa and grandma on my mom's side lived up until they passed away years ago. But so anyway, they just got a hold of Melissa and said that the trees are ready. First we were going to get bare root, and then I don't know, then they got a hold of her and said they're potted, so then they ended up being like $10 more. But anyway, we even got a couple of peach trees that will grow supposedly in this growing zone. So I don't know how many trees we got. I don't know if it was 6 or 7. I have no clue. Melissa was going through and I was just saying yes, yes. And I know we got some more cherries. I don't know if we got any more apples because I've got the apples. So I know we got peach and cherry, plum. I know we got at least one more plum. Anyway, I'm on my way to pick them up. I just put it in my GPS and it says it's 43 minutes away, which is going to get me there almost exactly at lunchtime. It's in Asco. They used to have the Banning Junction. The Banning Junction is still there, and they had a nice cafe that
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Minnesota 33 South.
my grandparents used to take us there when I was a kid. And then I don't know how many years ago, it's been 5 years or so, they screwed the whole thing up and it's not even really a cafe anymore. You can get pizza and gas station sandwiches. We used to always go there on the way up to the tent
Turn right onto Minnesota 33 South.
and get their steak and egg breakfast. It was so good. Then they eliminated, it went through several different owners. Anyway, I'm not stopping there, but there used to be a, right in Asco, cafe called the Partridge Cafe. I haven't ate there in 25 years.
Use the middle 2 lanes.
I'll see if they're still open and I might stop there and get a burger.
33 South. Continue on I-35 South for 32 miles.
I was just sitting here trying to think back. I bet you I haven't ate at the Partridge Cafe for 35 years. I only ate there when I was a kid. We went there a couple times, but the last time I was with a guy I was working with, and we had their special for that day. And I was doing some work around there. I remember it wasn't very good. So I want to do a burger, but I would be surprised if it's still there. Oh, I picked up the fruit trees, and those peach trees are much bigger than I thought they would be. All of them are nice size. So she got a Winetta and a Toka plum, and then 2 peaches, a cherry tree, and then the bottom 2 are grapevines. She said the Partridge Cafe is no longer there. Now they've got a Magnolia Cafe that's inside of like a museum. And then there's a place called Doc's, and she knew my grandpa and my grandma, and my mom, and my mom's sister, my aunt. I think I'm gonna go to Doc's and have me a burger and fries. Well, that was a pretty good lunch. That's where my aunt lives, my mom's sister. We used to play around here all the time when we were kids. Back then, this bridge over the Kettle River was a metal bridge with the big arches on each side. So this little guy here is a sweet cherry pie cherry. This is a contender peach. I can't believe they have peach trees that will grow up here. This is a Toka plum. Had a Toka plum at the hobby farmhouse. Loved them. I had a Toka plum at the house before that too. Produces really nice. Guanetta plum. Never had that kind, but it's the best pollinator. And this is a Reliance peach right here. Nice sized trees too. Almost forgot about these. Valiant grape and a Somerset grape. Still looks like we got a bunch of rain coming, but I thought it was supposed to be raining by now, and it's just barely been sprinkling out there. The rain just started up again. Earlier today, after Melissa got home from work, there was a knock at the door and the dogs went crazy, and it was my daughter Sarah. And she had been up with my ex-wife and my ex-in-laws to Zachary and Samantha's place today, and then came back down and stopped at Gordy's in Cloquet and had some ice cream, and then decided to come over here to use the bathroom and visit. I haven't seen my ex-wife and in-laws for a long time. It was nice to see them again. It would have been kind of nice if they would have gave me a heads up that they were coming, but other than that, it was nice. They're so easy to talk to. Good morning, everybody. 5 minutes after 5. And apparently it's raining. 7 o'clock in the morning, still raining. On this rainy Saturday morning, I'm running to Sam's Club in Duluth. I have to get a bunch of, what did Melissa order? I think like 6 bags of cat food. They had some deal going on it. And then a bunch of those, you know, those black plastic totes with the yellow top. I think that's the ones. She got some of those too. Put I have like the freeze-dried stuff in the basement, but it's just in cardboard boxes. It'd be nice to put it in some plastic totes that we can stack. I started my truck and let it run for 20 minutes before I left, and I thought it sounded kind of funny, and then when I came out, like you could see the exhaust, you know, coming out of the exhaust pipe, and usually you'll get a little puff of that, you know, when this starts, but then it's just clean. And then I sat there and it sounded almost like it had a miss, but not really. I revved it up a few times and it still wouldn't go away, and I was like, well, I'll probably take the black truck then. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to shut it off and start it again. So I shut it off and started it. Absolutely fine. Must have been a sensor that was giving it too much of something or not enough of something else because it's so wet out. That's my first time doing a pickup here. They don't load stuff in your vehicle like they do at Walmart. That girl just stood there and watched. Well, Melissa's in there making breakfast for lunch. I'm trying to figure out where to plant these trees. I'd like to put one over here, but we have to be able to get into this area with the semi trucks to bring wood in, so I've got to leave a lot of this open. I think this was a plum tree. I don't have a tag on it. I could kind of stagger them, but if that's where we're always going to park that thing, that semi needs a lot of room because it has to go like this to get out of the driveway, because the driveway has such deep ditches on each side. So I don't know. I could start like over in here. That still gives plenty of room. Cherry is down there. We have another cherry, but they don't need to pollinate. These two are pear trees. I could put the peach trees here. I could still get a cherry down there. I should actually cut this out of there and plant one in between those two. Maybe put a, I don't know, that's a lot of work though because of all the roots that are going to be in there. This is a cherry tree here, and it comes out with flowers before the leaves, and I mean they're going to be everywhere on this one. It's going to be really pretty in another couple of weeks. I was looking at my Honeycrisp apple, which it does have some buds on it. It's had a hard time growing, but you see how that's at an angle? It was planted straight. We didn't get a ton of snow at all this year to push anything over, but then I was looking at it. Look at this fence, how it's bent out. I had that perfectly straight. There was nothing that should have bent it out. Something got inside of here and pushed the tree over, pushed this out. I don't know, I mean that's a tall fence. I don't know if a deer tried jumping in there or what happened, but definitely something got in there. There's just no way that this would have happened otherwise. You can even see how the grass in there is kind of pushed down and all pushed over one direction. Not sure how good the lighting is with the camera kind of pointing up at the sky, but look at this one. It was never like that. Something definitely tried to get into these sometime over from last fall to this spring. I'm glad that we had them fenced because I'm sure they would have been destroyed by now. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I think I'm going to end this one right now because the weather's going to get really crappy this afternoon and tomorrow and into Tuesday. And into this afternoon we'll end up being out in the camper watching a movie. Look at this. Just bent it up on both sides. And I'll just start another one when I'm planting these trees or whatever. Next week now I'm going to get more stuff for the greenhouse stuff. Next Sunday, Melissa and I, and probably Brandon too, are going to go over there and look at some other stuff that she has for sale and get another load. I'm excited to start getting that thing up. And I'm still looking for a 3-bottom plow, so I can get this whole back field all plowed up, disked, run a drag over it, and get it planted with some kind of a pasture mix so we can get this all fenced off. I will see you guys on the next video.